Well, after more than 6 decades of operating a facility in Durham, the Coca-Cola bottling plant is moving out of the city.
Probably not every day a neighbor comes in here and says, we're going to miss a light industrial development next to us, the Coca-Cola.
Price increases are already showing up in your favorite drinks, your supermarket bill, and even your Friday night six-pack, and you didn't ask for them. And it all stems from a single pronouncement made by President Trump on June 4, 2025. When he hiked import duties to 50% on steel and aluminum. Proponents say it's a brave step to safeguard American business. However, it has been a huge shock to businesses like Coca-Cola and to you, the customer. Let's apply the brakes now and check the hood to see what's actually happening. Aluminum took the brunt of that tariff hammer's impact. Furthermore, aluminum is more than just an abstract substance. It serves as the foundation for the millions of food packages, beer cans, and soda cans that end up in North American shopping carts every day. James Quincy, the CEO of Coca-Cola, didn't hold back. He cautioned that the tariff increase was more than a change in policy. Production costs were directly impacted, which was a blow. It would immediately affect store shelves. He's not by himself, either. He was supported by the Can Manufacturers Institute, which speaks for the businesses that actually produce the cans, and warned that costs for everything from soup to soda will rise. This is the problem. Coca-Cola imports a lot of their aluminum. Actually, about half of America's supply is imported, with Canada being the main supplier. However, same metal now has a 50% price tag attached to it. That would be equivalent to purchasing a car with an unintentional additional wheel tax. That entails greater production expenses for Coke. It means more costly inventory for retailers. Additionally, it puts a greater strain on families' weekly budgets. What then should Coca-Cola do? Quincy suggested that they change more goods into bottles made of plastic. Although it seems like a solution on paper, it's actually a minefield. Customers already have doubts about plastic because of its effects on the environment. Scaling glass is too costly and heavy. And even though aluminum is expensive, it's still the benchmark for recycling and ease. Thus, there is a trade-off associated with each alternative. Coke runs the danger of losing consumers to less expensive options if it boosts prices. Its brand image and the allegiance of consumers who believe that Coke tastes better in a can are at danger if it switches to plastic. However, this issue is not limited to Coca-Cola. Small local beer producers known as craft breweries who rely on reasonably priced cans are already feeling the pinch. They lack the financial resources to withstand cost hikes like Coke does. They either take a chance or transfer the additional load to their clients. Closing down. Campbell and other food manufacturers have the same problem. Price increases for canned soup and packaged items are a result of rising aluminum costs. Additionally, the Aluminum Association has acknowledged that the United States would still be unable to manufacture enough aluminum even if all of its idle smelters were to start up tomorrow. Meet demand, therefore there won't be a quick cure very soon. The result is a supply chain crunch that appears more like a chokehold than a safeguard. And it's not just the supermarket that's affected. The tariffs have been denounced as unjust by trading partners such as Canada and Mexico. The European Union has made references to reprisal. Businesses and consumers are caught in the middle of a global tug-of-war. The Trump administration maintains that this is about revitalizing domestic industry and national security. However, detractors cite earlier tariff studies that demonstrated that higher costs resulted in the loss of more employment than they created, as well as less competition. This round might be even more difficult if past experiences are any indication. The entire beverage sector will be influenced by Coca-Cola's answer, so let's go back to them. In addition to making changes to the packaging and requesting relief from Washington, Coke is considering price increases with surgical accuracy. If you raise too much, you will drive away clients. Profits are lost if you raise too little. A company that has been in American refrigerators for generations must strike a balance between loyalty and survival, and each choice they make is turned into a case study. Discusses how companies might handle unexpected policy changes in an international marketplace. But let's look at the wider picture. It's not just steel and aluminum that are subject to this tariff. It's about the fact that you can't simply block trade in today's globalized world without facing repercussions. The prices fluctuate, they are mobile. Supply chains are dynamic and always changing. Additionally, when governments exert significant pressure on one lever, the financial impact may be more immediate than you may anticipate. Thus, keep this in mind the next time you open a Coke or pick up a six-pack of your preferred craft beer. You're holding an aluminum can that's more than merely packaging. It is the epicenter of a trade war that is changing the rules of North American politics, economics, and daily life. Whether tariffs can strengthen American industries is no longer the only question. It concerns whether or not average families can afford the price of that strength. What do you think then? Do tariffs like this hurt the very companies and customers they are intended to protect, or are they a necessary evil to preserve American jobs? Leave a comment below with your opinions. Additionally, if this explanation was helpful to you, be sure to hit that click like and subscribe. We're maintaining your intense curiosity